Earlier this year, the iPhone lost its title as the Phone Buff Style speed test champ to maybe the one phone that Apple really doesn't want to lose to in the Galaxy S10 Plus. And while part of it was due to the fact that the S10 Plus is just a beast of a smartphone, it did kind of feel like it was more the iPhone losing in that match than the S10 Plus winning, considering that the iPhone took a step backwards in RAM management, with it failing to keep all of the apps open in the background, despite being able to do so in a previous test. So today, we have the long-awaited rematch. We have the public beta of iOS 13 installed on this iPhone here, which, while still buggy and not official in any way, it does at least give us a window into seeing whether or not RAM management has improved, and if Apple's claims of apps in iOS 13 launching 2 times faster actually makes a difference in a real-world test. I don't know, I'm kind of skeptical. Apple loves to make these big, lofty claims, but let's find out. After the test, you can find the official Phone Buff Style rankings on our website at the link below, which we created with a sponsor of today's video in Wix. So with Wix, making a website has never been easier. Whether you use the drag and drop editor on a computer like I did, or you use Wix's artificial design intelligence to build a site for you, literally using only your phone, you can be up and running in no time after choosing a theme and answering just a few basic questions. Best part, you can start your website and try it all out for free at the special link down below. Okay, so we'll kick things off by starting the stopwatches on each phone and then jumping into the first row, where right off the bat, the S10 Plus is able to get the step over the iPhone in the warm launch of Facebook, which is something that we've noticed in nearly all of our trial runs on these two phones, most likely due to the S10 Plus being able to keep more of the app partially stored in memory thanks to its larger amount of RAM. But either way, the iPhone was able to completely wipe out that small advantage in Facebook, with it loading Starbucks, Word, and Excel at a faster rate, giving it a nice little cushion as both phones are now working on the second row. Here in Snapseed, we have made things more intensive by adding not one, but 2 different filters to the same exact photo, where from the looks of it, the iPhone was able to apply the filters and export the photo at a faster rate. But the iPhone hangs up in launching Adobe Rush, allowing the S10 Plus to make the comeback and actually pull ahead, already rendering the same exact video project. But it doesn't take long for the iPhone and its sheer processing power to make a comeback of its own, with it completing the actual rendering of the video project significantly faster, allowing it to move ahead to the browser test, where it was able to conduct that Google Trends search and display the accompanying graphs faster as well. Now, so far, what we've seen isn't the iPhone actually launching apps faster than the S10 Plus, but the iPhone being able to complete the actions within the apps faster, whether it was loading charts in Excel, applying filters in Snapseed, or exporting a video in Rush. Here in the gaming row, it's a different story. The iPhone has been able to launch most of these games faster than the S10 Plus, but from what I can tell without doing a direct comparison, it isn't doing it much faster than it did when the iPhone was running on iOS 12. And it definitely isn't launching these apps up to 2 times faster like Apple has claimed. We'll see if iOS 13 can do any better here in the last row, where the focus is on launching the apps more so than anything else, and where the iPhone has typically been slower than top-tier Android phones. And while the iPhone is still significantly slower in launching Spotify, the difference wasn't as big as we've seen in previous tests in ESPN, allowing it to hold on to its lead, clocking in a time of 2 minutes and 3 seconds, with the S10 Plus not being able to cut down on the iPhone's lead like it did before in the last row, finishing the first lap 6 seconds later with a time of 2 minutes and 9 seconds. And now, the moment we have all been waiting for. Has iOS 13 improved RAM management back to how it was in the early days of iOS 12? Well, so far, so good. The iPhone has kept all the apps open and ready to go in the background, but unfortunately the iPhone isn't able to keep Excel open, opening the door for the S10 Plus to possibly make its second comeback in this speed test, which with the iPhone also failing to keep Word open is exactly what happens, with the S10 Plus somewhat justifying its premium price with a RAM to match, keeping all the apps open and completing the test with a total time of 2 minutes and 46 seconds, with the iPhone failing to keep all of the remaining apps open just like it did in iOS 12, causing it to finish 12 seconds later with a time of 2 minutes and 58 seconds. making the winner the Galaxy S10 Plus. Now, just to reiterate, this was a beta version of iOS 13, so this result isn't official by any means. We'll rerun these tests when the final version of iOS 13 is released later this year, along with that new iPhone, so subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss out on that. But anyways, that is it for me in this video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the very next episode.